Hello everybody out there, this is Seto Kaiba from your Yu-Gi-Oh chat channel, and today I'm going to profile for you guys this Amazon deck that I have currently built online. Now I've played with this deck in matches and it seems to do pretty good, so I'm going to profile for you guys this Amazon deck. Now this deck works very well. I'm going to talk about the good things and the bad things of this deck, some of the downsides of Amazons. But first, let's go over the deck list, and then I'll go into my choices of cards. 3 Amazon Trainee, very good card. 2 Amazon Sage. 2 Amazon Scouts. 2 Amazon Swordswomen. 2 Immortal Bushido. 1 Amazon Chain Master. 2 Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. 2 Amazon Queen. 1 Amazon Paladin. 2 Command Knight, 3 Amazon Village, 3 Solidarities, 1 Rhoda, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Book of Moon, 2 MSTs, 1 Terraforming, 1 Queen's Pawn, 2 Bottomless Trap Holes, 2 Mirror Forces, 1 Torrential, 1 Fiendish Chain, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device. You can either run 2 Fiendish Chains with 2 Compulsories, but I just run either or. Extra deck, 3 Utopia, 1 Utopia Chaos Ray number. Remember they have to all be warriors because you're running Solidarity. So 1 Blade Armor Ninja, 1 Pappy, 2 Heroic Champion Excalibur, 1 Gaga Cowboy, 1 Heroic Champion Quadriv. This card actually comes in handy. 1 Zubaba General actually comes in handy if you get Solidarity out. And finally, 1 Heroic Champion Kazakin. Actually a very useful card if you run into a trap-heavy deck and you have Solidarity out. This guy can get pretty big pretty fast. So let me go over the deck choices for you. There's a lot of different Amazon cards out there you can use, and I've been trying to find the proper balance of cards because there's so many different spell and trap cards that are made just for Amazons. And there's so many different Amazon cards out there. The problem with Amazons overall, with the exception of Paladin, is they're all below 17 attack. Besides Queen, everything else you see as an Amazon is below 17. That's the problem. So you really need to get that Solidarity out, or you need to get Amazon Village out really fast. So that's why you add the Terraforming, because Amazon Village really helps you out. There may be some other cards you may want to think about, and I'll go over that here. So you may, like I said before, want to run either another Fiendish Chain, or just other good traps in general. So you may want to run 2 Fiendish Chains, 1 Fiendish Chain, and 2 Compulsory. So you may want to make this deck 41, or 42. It doesn't seem to matter, but I'm just showing you the template. Amazon Heirloom is a good card, but I find it not as useful because I just don't find it useful in my builds. I have seen it in other builds, and it works very good. You may want to think about adding another Marauding Captain to the deck, but I found that after adding Marauding Captain, it really didn't do nothing but create a Marauding Captain lock. It helped bring out monsters, but it didn't do nothing. It wasn't like you were exceeding or stuff like that. There are other good Amazons you may want to look into, and there are other good Amazon trap and spell cards out there that can really be helpful. But you have to look into that online. But we have Amazon Chain Master, which can really be a helpful card. It can pick a card out of your opponent's hand, and with Solidarity, she can become a big monster. So that's the main thing. You want to get Solidarity out or Village and just start attacking your opponent. Immortal Bushido is very good. It can be used for protecting you, and if it gets destroyed in the graveyard, you have no monsters. You special summon it back. You tribute summon for Amazon Queen, and all your Amazons don't get destroyed by battle. Queen's Pawn is a good card. It really helps you do some different things, different plays. Activate only when an Amazon monster you control is destroyed. Any opponent's monster by battle and sent it to the graveyard. Special summon any 4 Amazon from your deck. So that can be very helpful, believe me. The traps, you really need to rely on traps with the deck because the deck does tribute summon. The deck does these things like that. So, like I said, run good traps. Run your Fiendishes. Run your Compulsories. Run your Mirror Forces. Run all those good stuff that helps you do mass removal. Maybe you want to take the Torrential out and add the other Compulsory. It's up to you. to get over big monsters, because there are big exceeds monsters. And this deck doesn't really exceed too well. That's the problem with it. But Warrior is your searcher. Get your other Amazon girls out. The funny thing is about this deck is that they're all girls except Immortal Bushido. So it's pretty much a girl deck. They're all girls, except if you want to include the extra deck. But they work very well. Trainee is very good. Monsters destroyed by battle when this card is returned to the bottom of the deck. So if they're destroyed, they go to the bottom of the deck. Sage is kind of like it's kind of like a Lindy, but if it attacks and you get to select one spell or trap card on the opponent's side of the field and destroy it. So it comes in handy. Scouts, very useful, very good. Amazon Swordswoman, any damage you would take from this card goes your opponent takes instead the difference. So it can be very useful. It can stall your opponent, but in this type of format, it doesn't do that well. But that's the Amazon deck. You really want to get... the problem with Amazons, though, is that they have low attack. They don't have 16s. They don't have 18 beaters. They don't have that. They really don't have an updated boss monster. And Amazons have been out for a long time. You have to remember this. They've been out since as long as Gravekeepers have been out back in the day, like 04, 05. But they are a fun deck to play. Ma used them, played with Amazons, so they are a fun deck in many respects. But they do have their faults when it comes. Back in the day, they were good. Nowadays, they're not as good. But you can still play them. A lot of these things have gotten reprinted, so it's a very easy deck to build. Like I said, you want to remember to run all different types of warriors for different situational things. Run good traps. Run the solidarities. You must run the solidarities. I know you may think it's a handicap, but it will come in handy when you run around with. You get that 800 boost. Plus, if you get village out, you get 1,000 boost total. So that can be very, very helpful. Plus, if you get a command knight out there, because she's a warrior, command knight can be used as a defender. So you get command knight first turn, throw this girl down. They don't want it over. You flip, it gets flipped up. All your warrior monsters get a 400 attack boost. So it can be very helpful. You want to use attack boost to boost your Amazons up so they can run over things, okay? That's the key. I wish they had some other things, but Heirloom, like I said, look into. There's not much more I can say on this deck. If you have any suggestions, feel free to add them below. But I find that this deck overall runs fairly well, performs very well. It's a fun deck, more or less, but you can do good, and it's a very easy deck to build. I'm probably going to build it eventually because I actually like Amazons. I've always wanted to build a deck. But a lot of this stuff got reprinted lately. So till next time, everybody, take care, have fun out there, and Seto Kaiba out.